Good morning. This is KELOLAND On The Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your Sunday. We also have your Boredom Busters coming up, but first, our top story. Authorities in Pennington County have arrested an active duty airman from Ellsworth Air Force Base for the murder of a woman whose remains were found earlier this month south of Hill City. 24-year-old Quinerius Chappelle is charged with second-degree murder in the death of 21-year-old Sahela Sangrate, who was reported missing last August. Investigators say Sangrate, who's from Box Elder, was murdered on base. A hiker found her decomposed body on March 4th. Chappelle is being held in the Pennington County Jail. The U.S. Attorney's Office is prosecuting the case since the crime allegedly happened at Ellsworth. A Southwest Minnesota man already facing child porn charges has been arrested again on similar charges. Agents with the Buffalo Ridge Drug and Violent Crime Task Force arrested Marco Alejandro Ojeda after carrying out a search warrant at his Jasper, Minnesota home on Tuesday. He's charged with possession of pornographic work involving minors under the age of 14 years. A previous search warrant resulted in 20 counts of child porn filed against him in February of 2023. Windy, wet weather didn't stop a 45-year-long tradition from taking place in downtown Sioux Falls on Saturday. The snow stopped in time for the St. Patrick's Day Parade to make its way down Phillips Avenue. The strong winds persisted through the afternoon, but the less than ideal conditions weren't about to put a stop to the celebrating.
We've never canceled because of weather. We canceled a couple times for COVID, but we enjoy having people come downtown and enjoy themselves and have a good day and celebrate the coming of spring and St. Patrick's Day.
The festivities started earlier in the day with the traditional painting of the shamrock. There were also running events leading up to the parade. Organizers say it would take far worse weather conditions to cancel the activities because so much planning goes into putting on this event every year. Let's take our first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Adam Rutt in the Storm Center. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Perry, and good morning, everybody. It is a cold start to your day across several portions of the region. That includes here in Sioux Falls as we take a look at Falls Park. 19. North wind at 6 miles per hour. We do have sunshine in place, and that'll help us warm up quite nicely as we head through the afternoon. Meanwhile, up in Aberdeen, a beautiful sunrise, but it is 11 in Brown County with a light northeasterly breeze at 3 miles per hour. 21 in Pierre, also with a nice look to the east, an east wind at 13 miles per hour. And we'll head out west to Rapid City, completing the view around KELOLAND. Everybody getting in on a mainly clear start to the day. 21 out west with a north wind at 6 miles per hour. 32 in Spearfish, 34 right now for Pine Ridge for the outliers on the milder side. 24 for Custer, 21 up in Mulbridge, but 14 Sisseton, 13 Watertown, 12 Huron and Brookings. So that's the air temperature, and we have a bit of a breeze in place, around 5 to 10 miles per hour in many locations. A little bit more of a wind from Pierre to Faith and then Marshall down to Spencer. So we do have a couple of wind chill values in the single digits this morning. It feels like it's 5, for example, in Aberdeen, a wind chill of 2 for Brookings, 0 for Worthington. Feels like it's 11 in Sioux Falls. So you will want to keep this in mind. Yes, you'll need the coat for your Sunday morning routine, but by the afternoon, you're good to go. And by and large, it's not too cold anytime soon, but we do have that midweek outlook to watch. We'll go through the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. A South Dakota Special Olympian has turned in an impressive performance on the ski slopes. Nick Mills of Sioux Falls earned a silver medal in the Special Olympics World Winter Games in Italy. He took silver in the slalom and earned a 5th place finish in the giant slalom, as well as 7th place in the Super G slalom. Congratulations to Nick. Well, this is a big day for the Summit League champion SDSU women's basketball team. They'll learn tonight who they'll be playing in the opening round of the NCAA National Tournament, which tips off later this week. KELOLAND Sports' Ian Sachs will be in Brookings today for player reaction. Watch for his live reports coming up at 5:30 on KELO Extra. It is the final day of the Sioux Empire Sportsman's Show. It's taking place from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Sioux Falls Convention Center and Arena. There are fishing seminars throughout the day. Admission is $12 for adults, $4 for children, and free for ages 5 and under. You can buy, sell, or trade guns at the Sioux Falls Gun Show taking place today at the Best Western Ramkota Conference Center. The hours are 9 to 4. Admission is $5 and free for ages 12 and under. The Sioux Falls Skyforce take on the Iowa Wolves in NBA G League basketball action at the Sanford Pentagon. Tip-off is at 3:05. And enjoy an afternoon of March Madness on KELOLAND TV. The action begins at noon Central Time with the Atlantic 10 Conference Men's Basketball Championship. That's followed by the Big Ten Championship game at 2:30. Find out about all 68 teams taking part in the NCAA National Tournament during the selection show that begins at 5 p.m. KELOLAND Weekend News at 5:30 will air on KELO Extra. Adam?
Well, we do have a bit of a breezy afternoon on our hands out west. That, combined with the very dry air in place, has prompted red flag warnings for portions of western and southwestern South Dakota, along the Cheyenne River Valley, Butte County, down through Fall River County as well. This does not include the Black Hills, though, so keep that in mind. Regardless, you will want to be careful with any outdoor heat sources, as we do have those elevated fire weather concerns in place. Otherwise, yeah, there's just not much of anything going on today. A few little bits of moisture trying to come around up in Corson County, but most of that is up toward North Dakota into southern Canada for that matter. Yesterday's system, which wreaked havoc in the deep south, is now moving to the Appalachian Mountains and the I-95 corridor. We will kind of be caught in between two systems. We'll watch that by the middle of next week and go into more detail on that in a moment. But the bulk of what we're looking at, even remotely nearby, is again near Bismarck, headed up into portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Now, we do have a small opportunity for maybe an isolated shower or two up in northeastern portions of South Dakota toward the afternoon and evening, if some of that can kind of swing down and clip the northeastern corner of the state. But otherwise, I think that'll be an exception to the overall pretty decent rule through Monday. Tuesday into Wednesday, though, there's our next system that's going to come on in, starting off as rain, but mixing with snow, maybe even switching over to snow at times before this gets out of here by Wednesday afternoon. The rest of the week, which features the start of spring, is shaping up to be, all in all, not all that bad. Also not that warm or cold, for that matter. But I want to circle back over to Tuesday and to Wednesday. Like I said, that starts off as rain, but it'll switch over with snow on occasion. This is the odds for at least an inch of snow. This is Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Notice the higher opportunities in red south of Mobridge into western South Dakota. Low-end opportunities, Chamberlain to Sioux Falls into Brookings. So we'll watch this. It's going to be kind of like what we had on Friday into Saturday, where we have a couple of moving parts to this. And we'll see just how things evolve as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. Just know that that is very, very much subject to change. Today, 40s near the east of the I-29 corridor, 50s and 60s elsewhere, with overnight low temperatures tonight mainly falling into the 30s, a couple of 20s up to the northeast. The rest of your 7-day forecast outside of Tuesday night into Wednesday, it's not all that bad. St. Patrick's Day also very warm, 72 in Sioux Falls. But yeah, then we go right back to the 40s by Wednesday. So we do get some whiplash on the thermometer. Please keep that in mind. From there, we head on out to Aberdeen, where we have not as big of a swing, but we go from 45 to 58 back into the low 40s through Tuesday and Wednesday with that rain and snow chance. We'll start spring on a pretty pleasant note with low to mid 50s headed into next weekend. In Pierre, 60 on Sunday, 70 Monday. Rain and snow showers possible on Tuesday with a high of 43. Then you start spring in the mid 50s to near 60 as we go through Thursday into next Saturday. And last but not least, there is Rapid City, 61 today, near 70 as you go into the day on Monday. But then things do start to taper off a little bit with that rain snow chance on Tuesday, maybe a few morning flurries on Wednesday as well. We'll start spring out on a mainly quiet note, maybe an isolated rain shower or two Friday into Saturday. Have a great day, everybody. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.